nothing you're worrying about right now matters. And look at the bigger picture and don't be afraid to do everything for yourself.
You are listening to The Gradient Radio, an open space to converse about creativity with creatives. And I'm your host, Antonio Knoxx. And today, in collaboration with Richmond Fashion Week, we have a special guest. Today, our guest is a designer from Northern Virginia whose brand prioritizes aesthetics, quality, and individuality. Today, our guest is Jessica Meiko.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking some time and being with us today.
I appreciate it.
So for the people who may not know who you are, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah. My name is Jessica Meiko, and I was born and raised in Northern Virginia. I came to Richmond to study fashion design at Virginia Commonwealth University and really found my passion here. And I'm just here following my dreams still. So
what was your journey becoming a designer?
Ever since I was a kid, I've really gravitated towards fashion and art in general. I think during high school, I really had no idea what I wanted to do. And, coming from an Asian background, I had a little bit of pressure. Like, I was always like, what type of doctor are you going to be? What stable industry are you going into? But I decided to take a fashion academy my senior year. So I would go to a completely different school and just immerse myself in constructing garments and learning that process. And that led me here. And now I am fully immersed in becoming a designer, and I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
Why clothing as your medium?
I think I've really tried a lot of different art mediums, but there's something about watching the process and being in the process of creating art and then putting it on someone's body and seeing how their energy changes in a room. I design for specific people in mind. And throughout all of the trials and tribulations of designing, putting that on someone and just seeing them completely change is so inspiring to me.
Yeah. Do you think you have to go to school to be a great designer?
I don't. I don't think you have to go to school to be a great designer. I think you just have to be like madly obsessed and use your free time to do what you love because you want to do it and because you get to do it, not because you have to do it.
Yeah. Who were your influencers? Who were you influenced by growing up?
I was influenced by a lot of Japanese designers, such as Yamamoto, and also a lot of skate brands. Growing up, I didn't really know what my style was. I feel like I grew up around everyone wearing the same thing. And so I'd wake up and, one day want to be masculine or one day want to be feminine. And so I've kind of found my style throughout just making my own stuff.
Yeah. Now, I've always loved fashion. I've always loved design. I had my own boutique at 21 when I used to design clothes. So just going through that journey and being inspired by the people that I saw around me or the brands I saw around me were super impactful. Like you said, the impact to be able to see someone wearing what you created and how that gives them a level of confidence.
Right.
It's nothing like fashion. It's nothing like the creativity or the creation process of creating the things that you create. So what is your process when you have an idea to the process of creating the idea, putting it on paper, and then the actual process of actually making it? What is that process like?
So my process kind of works very backwards and wrong, which is I got so much Like, I got so yelled at that in college. I'm not an illustrator. I struggle with illustrating. I don't like it. I don't want to be near it.
Yeah.
So I will get inspiration from people around me, or a movie that I watch, or music that I listen to, or just like maybe how I'm feeling that day. And it sounds weird, but I'll literally see a full look in my head, like on a mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just this vision I get, and I'm like, okay, I have to make that now. So I'll go to a friend who's, you know, better at illustrating than me, and I'll like walk them through it so that they can put it on paper. And then I'll go, one of my favorite parts of it is sourcing fabrics and reaching those textures that I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just kind of go ham and start constructing whatever's in my head until it's what I want it to be. Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of the same way too. Like I skip a lot of steps, or like when it comes to like my ideas. So a little background about me is just like, I am a creative. Like, I do all things, right? Whether it is fashion, whether it is film, creative direction, art direction, anything that you can imagine on the computer, I've done digitally, like illustrations, websites, branding, all of that. But when you do go to like a standard school, right? Like, or when I would work with like agencies, I would just like do the work. I would skip a lot of the steps,
right,
of like, you know, having an idea, putting it on paper, drafting, then like getting to like the final project. I would see the vision in my head and I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna go directly straight to that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to go through the process of like trying to figure it out. I already figured it out.
Exactly.
It seems like it's the same way for you.
I feel that 100%. Also, I think in school though, one of my professors told me one time that you have to know how to do it right first to be able to do it wrong correctly. And that kind of stuck with me. Like, I appreciate knowing how to do every technical step of my process. But having the knowledge of doing it correct allows me to like work around the steps and do it my way.
Yeah. No, I definitely see the benefits of like creating a process for it and getting to the end goal. But I guess sometimes you just want to see the end goal so fast that like just like
I get
straight to it, right? So you are from Northern Virginia.
I am.
And you came to Richmond.
Yes.
Right? What inspired you? What made you want to come to Richmond?
Funny enough, I got into VCU without even seeing the campus. I just showed up like on moving day.
Really?
And I was like, guess this is what I'm doing. But this is I'm going into my 6th year here.
Okay.
And I love it. And I definitely wouldn't change that. I actually rarely go home to Northern Virginia just because Richmond, like you were saying earlier, just feels like home now.
Yep.
So yeah.
So how has being a student at VCU shaped your experiences in honing your craft?
I think it's shaped so many of my experiences. I have a lot of mentors that I took out of my program, but I think one of the number one things is surrounding myself with creatives through my program and really finding like that core group of friends who support you. Because it's really difficult, like in a creative industry, there's so much competition and you never know, what those vibes are going to be like. But I'm lucky enough that VCU gave me like the most supportive designer friends, and surrounding yourself with those type of people and people who are better than you and people you want to strive to, become is really important.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. Just us as humans, we are like communal, like beings. So like to want to be around people who are like you, who are inspire you, are like really pivotal. A lot of people don't know that. Like growing up, I didn't think I was like the best artist or like the best creative, but there were people around me who were like, I deemed to be so much better than me that like they inspired me to push me to where I'm at today. Was it the same for you?
Oh yeah, definitely the same. I mean, my friends are so talented, and everyone has their own things that they're good at. and just celebrating each other's wins is so important.
Facts. Yeah.
And I've realized that a lot recently.
Yeah.
And it's rare too, to like have that genuine artist connection between people where it's just positivity and motivation and striving to be better, like with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned you've been here for 6 years. What do you think about the art and fashion culture of Richmond as a whole?
I think it's awesome. I would say it's probably top city in Virginia for art and culture right now. I think Richmond is I think it was up and coming, but now I think it's getting up.
Yeah, for sure.
With that,
Yeah.
like, especially coming from Northern Virginia, fashion wise, I think if like some of my outfits, I think if I went to Northern Virginia and walked around, people would be like, what are you wearing? But here, everyone is so individual, and just the diversity with the way people express themselves here is pretty beautiful.
Yeah. So you as a designer, you as someone who has their own brand, how do you plan to leave your mark on the culture? Yeah,
I definitely think that I have built such a strong collaborative community here, and I really prioritize like the creatives from Richmond and the creatives here. I think it's such a strong community, and I think that's something that I'll have forever. No matter where I end up going. I think so many of my creative roots, I say that they're here for sure.
For sure.
So
yeah, no, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, congratulations in like all you're doing, especially with Richmond Fashion Weekend, and I can imagine all of the stuff that will come out of it. Like you're here for a reason. They picked you for a reason. Like the work that you put in is showing the dedication and the passion shows. So I want to say congratulations on everything before it all happens.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what can we expect to see from you during Richmond Fashion Week?
You will see an extension of my latest work. Lots of garments that push gender norms. Lots of black fabric. I love my black fabric, and it's hard to get away from it sometimes. And lots of volume and textures.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
So what is your long-term goal, 5-year goal? Where do you see yourself, the brand, in the next 5 years?
Whew. Tough question. I'm just kidding. I see myself definitely building my brand, hopefully in production. I want to, soon get my stuff manufactured on a small quantity level. I don't want to be in the fast fashion world at all.
Yeah.
I believe in quality and small quantity. Also ethical manufacturing, because that's a real problem right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where on the map I may be specifically, but definitely pushing my brand and just continuing to make connections and create collaborations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collaborations is so important.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So important.
Yeah.
So if you had to, we like to leave the episode with a gem for people. So if you had to talk to someone who was you 6 years ago, right? And they are a photocopy of you, but not you, right? Like, what gem would you leave for them to navigate their journey?
Gotta think on that. It's a good one. I would probably say that nothing you're worrying about right now matters. And look at the bigger picture and don't be afraid to do everything for yourself. Prioritize yourself and what you love, because this is your life.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Facts. And it seems like you were living it. Did it take some time to get to that point?
Oh yeah. Still going, but facts. For sure.
Yeah. I want to say thank you for giving us your time today. I learned a lot about you. I can't wait to see your work in person, walking down the runway and seeing people actually putting on. I can imagine how much work it takes to have an idea and put it into fruition, but also to be able to believe that you're capable of doing, and obviously you believe in yourself because you are here. So I want to say thank you for your time, and this was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Antonio Knoxx. That is Jessica and Meiko, and this was The Gradient Radio. Mic drop.
That was great.